About a year ago, it used to be the case that for about $1,000 you could get a pretty good gaming PC. A year later, in 2026, that is no longer the case. This means that a lot of the cookie cutter builds that you're going to find out there are no longer accurate. And instead of costing you $1,000, it's probably going to cost you $1,400. Now, a lot of the PC components has gone up in price, but the main culprit behind of this is the increase to memory prices. So unfortunately, you can't get the same part list that you could a year ago. So in this video, we'll break some of the old rules on how to build a PC in order to get you a pretty good PC for close to $1,000. Firstly, let us look at what you could get for $1,000 about 1 or 2 years ago. You could follow the classic recipe, get a Ryzen 7, 32 gigs of memory, aftermarket cooler, a fancy motherboard, and a nice glass case. But today, that's unfortunately going to be a bit outside of our price range. So let us spend $1,000 where it actually shows up on screen and cut everywhere it doesn't. In a gaming PC, the graphics card is the build. It's the one part that decides your frame rate. So it gets the biggest slice of the budget, and you pick it first. Everything else gets built around the graphics card. At $310, the pick is the Intel Arc B580, and yes, Intel. It comes with 12 gigs of VRAM at the price where Nvidia hands you 8. In 2026, 8 gigs is the part that edges out first, so the extra memory is going to be a big difference down the road. Honest trade-off, the RTX 5060 is a bit faster and it has DLSS, which is still a better upscaler. So if you game purely at 1080p and you want every frame rate possible, then the 5060 at 340 is a totally fair swap. I'm picking the B580 for this build because it has 12 gigs of VRAM and it costs $30 less, making it the smarter choice for this PC. And if your budget can flex about another $150, then the single best upgrade in this whole build is the GPU. So you can jump up to the Radeon RX 7800 XT. You get 16 gigabytes of VRAM instead. That way you're going to get a pretty good 1440p machine. Now this is not a part of the $1,000 build, but it's a pretty good upgrade to make. Okay, so the GPU is locked in. Now for the part that everybody overspends on, and really shouldn't. For this GPU, you do not need an expensive CPU, and you don't need a fast one either. The pick is the Ryzen 5 7600X at 167. Now you might be thinking, why didn't I go for the Ryzen 5 7600 instead? Because the non-X version includes a stock cooler. So that must be the better offering, right? No, because the non-X version, including the stock cooler, costs an additional $40, while an aftermarket stock cooler only costs about $17 and it's going to perform much better than the included stock cooler. Now you might be tempted to buy a more expensive CPU, but because we are bottlenecked by the GPU, it's not going to give you any frames. Not even at 1080p where the CPU normally matters the most. The graphics card is the ceiling at every resolution that this build runs. Now for RAM, most of the cookie cutter builds from about a year ago would have said 32 gigabytes of RAM. And I do see the point, 32 gigabytes is nice to have, but if you're only gaming and you want the most out of it, then 16 is still enough to barely scrape by. And by going with only 16 gigabytes instead of 32 gigabytes, we can save quite a lot of money that we instead spend on the GPU. To get a 16 gigabyte kit, 2.6 DDR5, 6000 megahertz. Now make sure to get 2.6 instead of just one stick. That's the dual channel setup that your frame rate actually cares about. But using only a single stick of RAM is going to cost you some frames. Unfortunately, storage prices also went up. A terabyte Gen 4 NVMe is basically the floor for what you want. So we're going to buy one drive that's just barely fast enough and call it a day. In games, you will not feel the difference between this drive and a drive that is twice as fast. Memory is one of the parts of this build that I genuinely watch week to week to see where I can get the best prices. The prices are swinging hard back and forth right now, so in a good week, you can knock about $50 off this build. And this is where the MaxMyBuild newsletter comes in, to get notified whenever good prices are available. Link is in the description. A B650 board does everything this build needs. It runs the 7600X, it takes DDR5, it will heavily fit the GPU. The B850, the other guys push, gets you faster USB ports that you'll never really notice. So save the $40 and go for the B650 instead. Now lastly for the case, you want airflow, not a fish tank. A mesh front case keeps this hardware cooler and quieter than a steel glass panel. And it's only going to cost you about half the money. For about $50, you can get a nice case with a mesh front. Is your next build around $1,000 or do you have a bit more room in your budget? Drop your budget in the comments. I'm curious where most people actually land. And on the power supply, don't cheap out on it, but don't overbuy either. This whole system pulls well under 400 watts, so a quality 750 watt gold unit gives you silent operation and room for that 7800 XT upgrade later on. You can get a pretty good PSU for about $80. So let us add it all up and see what we get. All in, this lands at about 1073. And yeah, I called it a $1,000 build, and it came to 1073, but it's pretty much as close to $1,000 as you can get. This build is going to max out basically everything at 1080p and still play a decent chunk of titles at 1440p. Now, unfortunately, Prices on every one of these components move daily, especially memory. So instead of freezing this list the day I filmed it, let the PC Builder keep it current for you. So type your budget into the PC Builder at MaxMyBuild.com. It's free, no account needed, and it builds the exact kind of balanced list with today's real prices. GPU matched to your resolution is the first link in the description.